So, Michal, welcome. And I thought we could potentially start by asking you a few questions about how you came to be all those things that I just listed in the previous slide. So, I mean, maybe you can say a little bit about yourself and how you got into academic gastroenterology and how you became such a prolific academic by now.
Yeah, thank you so much, David, John, Roland, and Dubke. I mean, it's a great honor to be invited to this webinar. So why I was attracted by academic position at the Institute of Oncology. I think that because I really want to change the clinical practice, and if you look at all those things that I did in the past, both in terms of clinical medicine or in terms of research, it all aimed at changing clinical practice. I'm really very much focused on that. So I was also obviously very lucky to have a very good mentors with me who helped me to understand how I can improve and how can I really impact a clinical practice. And I tried to follow the pathway. I've tried to understand what is the best, and I've tried to use my, let's say, abilities to change the clinical practice around me. And obviously it was always around let's say oncology and endoscopy altogether, which are the fields which I think work, play really well together.
And one question we ask everybody right at the start, just to get the ball rolling, is if I was starting gastroenterology training now, so your advice to someone starting gastroenterology training now to become the next Michal Kaminsky, what would your advice be?
Okay, that's a tough one. So I think that you should start really early on and really start. I mean, not be very compliant with the let's say well-beaten pathway. So try to find your pathway. Try to find your path through the academia. Try to understand what interests you the most, what are the relevant questions. I think that one of the most important things in academic medicine is to ask very good questions. And there are very few people who can really ask very good questions and the questions which are relevant. And then finding response, you can probably, I mean, invite people, you can learn over time, but you have to have certain curiosity and understand what is a relevant question for the community, society, for all of us at the time of screening, or negative colonoscopy at the time of screening. In this particular study that we are referring to, we look only at those who have negative colonoscopy. It means there was, in fact, no intervention among them. No intervention. We didn't remove polyps. We didn't treat any cancer. We just said that they are negative. So there is no polyps, no cancer at the time of screening. So it means that colonoscopy is a very good triage test. So it tells that if you come to screening, colonoscopy screening, and there is no cancer and there is no polyp or no adenoma at the time of screening, the likelihood that you will develop a cancer or die from cancer is very, very low. So this is a main thing that I would like to clarify right now. If I may add one thing, because obviously for the moment and people get really excited about that, but on the other hand, I mean, the costs of these tests are just prohibitive for the moment. So this is there is some time that we have to wait for it, because obviously FIT is a very cheap test as compared to blood-based tests. So we need to have we need to lower the costs in order to make it available to the population, because I mean screening is about offering population, not about offering to an individual. As an individual, you can do whatever you wish.
And really, there were a lot of colonoscopies included, 38 leaders and 138 endoscopists, 3 phases, as we said, and the primary endpoint, the change in leaders' ADR from pre-intervention to post-intervention phase. And the primary outcome of ADR improvement, there was a significant increase in the ADR by 8.2% in the TCL group, which was not matched by the feedback group, where the ADR only increased by 1.1%. And this was an odds ratio of 1.61 and a significant p-value. In the late post-intervention group, there was a sustained improvement in the ADR of those in the colonoscopy leaders group, and in the feedback group, there was some improvement, but not significantly different, with a sustained improvement of odds ratio 1.35, significant p-value. Secondary outcomes, proximal ADR and non-polypoid lesion or flat lesion detection rates also significantly improved in the TCL group. And this improvement was observed across various specialties and types of screening centers. And then, therefore, the conclusions that the authors made was that the TCL course, the Train the Colonoscopy Leaders course, significantly improved ADR and other quality measures,